Okay, craziest touchdown.
All right. Happy Saturday. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm Bobby Melendez, joined always by my tag team partner, Josh Kimmel. Josh, my brother, how you doing?
I am so upset. I can cry right now. So, the reason why we are doing the show 30 minutes after our normal time is because I took the kids to the mall. To be honest with you, it was Mega Rayquaza raid day for Pokemon Go, but also let the kids walk around. The 14-year-old daughter wants to hang out with her friends, so just I'm doing the Pokemon while she's doing that. There's a big commotion outside of we have a sports memorabilia store that sells a bunch of like signed autograph stuff. Big commotion, big crowd. What's going on over there? What's going on? I see a bunch of people with their I see the usual suspect, the sickos, right? The sickos, they got their belts. World,
Oh,
can you hear me?
yeah, I
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yeah.
They got the WCW world title belt. I'm like, what is going on? And then someone's like, dude, that was so cool. He had a streak that he never lost. Like he's trying to explain to his friend why Bill Goldberg is so important. Mr. Bill Goldberg was at my mall signing autographs. I didn't know, but it was $256 to get that autograph if you so choose to do that. Just let you know. And next week, I didn't look. I don't go to the mall much. Next week, the Bushwhackers. We got Jim Duggan coming. We got a whole lot of people coming, Bobby. The
There you
whole
go.
lineup. And for you sports fans, if you're in Tampa Bay area, Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. will be at my mall signing autographs. So there we go. I didn't know my mall was an autographs location. Anyway, all you sickos with your Goldberg, get a life. He's washed up. Signing autographs at a brand new mall.
Come on, man. I don't know if I'd be paying $200 some odd dollars for an auto. I'll just wait.
256.
Nah, I'm good. I'll peek a peek. Oh, there he is. He's right there. And then, I'll go look on whatnot for an auto there. But shout out DSG already in the house. You got Maria, who was watching Finn's Talk earlier today. Anthony Manzano as well. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We are 30 minutes late, but that's okay. Again, dad duty calls for Josh, and that's fine with me because it gave me some time to hang out with the kids and take care of some other stuff. But yeah, no, man, we got a lot to talk about for today's show. What's crazy is usually you and I are pretty, we communicate throughout the week like, hey, how about this? Let's do this. And we're good.
Oof.
And both of us got sidetracked, of course, running Channel Life, everything else, you running Fantasy Now Plus because you're covering for Justin and whatever. And I realized last night, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I wasn't going to text you, it was late when I realized, like this, he's not going to respond anyway. So I was like, I'm going to make an executive decision. And because we're 50-50 here on the podcast, but I was only get executive decision. We'll talk about AJ Styles' retirement, and how that should be booked. And we got some other topics we'll discuss, but yeah. So, I mean, not, John Cena's retirement. We know that, some people have mixed feelings about the heel turn or the heel run. The heel turn was great. The heel run. But ever since he's become a face, I mean, again, and he's back to John Cena. It's been magical to say the least. I think it's been a home run for WWE and John Cena, where AJ Styles' retirement tour is going to be a little bit different, and I feel like I'm a little more. I'm intrigued by how they may do that, just because it's not like John Cena where you just get him once in a while. He's around, you're always seeing him. So I wonder how that's going to play out. We'll touch on that. We're also going to talk about SmackDown last night. Big title change. There was supposed to be a number one contenders match for Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. Ended up being a WWE title match for Cody Rhodes and McIntyre due to the attack on Jacob Fatu. Who did it? We don't know. We'll find out. Also going to touch on, you have already discussed this, which was the Vision betrayal. Braun Breaker spearing the hell out of Seth Rollins, which was one of the shocking moments on Monday night. Was you got to love the reaction of the crowd, everybody. And it was interesting. I know that you have not seen it because you were surprised when I told you about the title change, but you did. I assume you don't know anything about the main event or the Cody Drew thing. I want to touch on something, and maybe Maria at the end of the show or when we get to that point could elaborate and maybe tell me if I'm crazy or not crazy, since she did see it. Maybe DSG saw it as well. And then Chris Jericho. what's going to happen with Jericho? Is he coming back to AEW? Fozzy just finished their tour. He's coming back to AEW, or are the rumors true? Could he be coming back to the WWE for his own retirement tour, which would probably coincide with AJ Styles? I mean, Cody took out Jacob. I didn't see that. I did see they think Randy Orton took out Jacob Fatu. Jacob's teeth was all over the floor. It was blood all over. It was graphic the way they did it. So it's a real deal type of thing. It looks really cool. But we'll get into that. Besides that, man, first off, how the heck are you? We haven't talked. How was your week? What's going on with Fantasy Now Plus?
Good, man. Life has been a little hectic with Justin being out, but this is my, I think, 8th day in a row on this very network in front of a microphone. I'm kind of burnt out, but hey, I do it because I love it. I have to keep on telling myself that. So I'm here for you guys, honestly, and it's fun, and we're crushing over there. 888 subs. We just want to get to 1,000, and we're going to get there very soon. So if you want to support me and you like what I do, or you just want to, be nice, go to Fantasy Now Plus on YouTube and hit a sub, man. We want to hit 1,000. We're so close. So close.
And it's not just, just do it because they're nice or whatever. It's you guys put in the work and you put out good stuff, and it's every day. Every day they're on live. And if you are a fan, if you love fantasy football, if you play fantasy football, eventually fantasy basketball, fantasy sports, you're going to want to subscribe to Fantasy Now Plus. They're on every day on FTSN and FTSN Extra, but also on Fantasy Now Plus. Why would you subscribe to Fantasy Now Plus if they're on FTSN? Well, because there's extra stuff on Fantasy Now Plus. There's shorts, there's links, they got a website, they got it all. So you're subscribed to FTSN, go subscribe to Fantasy Now Plus so you got the inside info. I mean, you don't want to miss. Josh puts out shorts every other day. I mean, Nils Kitchen, he was in the rankings in the top 15. Justin was in the top 10. I mean, these guys know what they're talking about. So if you love fantasy sports, make sure you're checking out their stuff. Again, I think, you guys will be like, man, we got in the ground floor with those guys, because one of those guys are going to blow up. I truly mean that. And I've been saying that to Josh for, I think, a year now, a couple of years, because I know the work he's been putting in, but it's really coming into play. So, and I know how hard it is, man, or how tiring it could be to be on every day, and plus the back end stuff. So, and I'm with you. I do this because I love it. I do it because of the people I do it with and the people that watch it, and that's what's fun. So, talking Dolphins all the time could pretty be draining. Canes lost last night. Panthers have lost 4 in a row. So it's kind of like, so I'm really looking forward to this show, because it's my chilled, relaxed show. I just argue for fun on this one, and so let's have some fun. Let's argue. Let's get in here and let's talk about it. AJ Styles. Oh, go ahead.
What is leche? Leche. I'm so ignorant.
Son of a who brought it up? Who brought it up? I don't even see the comments. Who brought it up? TSG, I bet.
Just ask him.
Son of a First of all, okay, let me just say, what happened was we were doing East 10th Street Boys, Josh, and that's me and Alex, my best friend who I grew up with, my brother, the best man at my wedding, the godfather of my daughter, my oldest. That's my best friend. And we, so we're just chilling, we're talking, and we were talking about Halloween candy. We got out of the Dolphins, we got out of this stuff. So now we're in Halloween. And he was like, what's your favorite candy? And I was like, dude, I love Reese's. And I was saying, because when I was younger, I would go visit my great grandmother in the home, and we'd play Go Fish and War and all this whatnot. And so she would go and make these peanut butter chocolate balls, and she would make them, and then she'd freeze them, and then I would snack on those. And I just love Reese's because of it. And I would made a joke. I knew what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, you put the balls in your mouth. I love putting those. And very funny, right? We're all laughing, whatever. So we're continuing with the same conversation. They asked me, have you had the Reese Oreos yet? I said, no, I haven't. And do you like milk? I love milk. I love the leche. And all of a sudden they all started going, no, wait. I was like, what did I do? Leche means milk in Spanish, but I guess it's a slang for something else. And, okay. And they're like, I love the leche. Like, so it was horrible. I was picked on. I'll never say I want leche again. I just want milk. My youngest like, hey, leche. I'm like, no, you want milk. You can have a Coke. Milk. Here, I give a little Coke in a little bottle, So they traumatized me. So how dare he bring this up to me to traumatize me on a show that has nothing to do with leche? I know it means milk. They said something else, Maria. I was bullied the other night. Where were you, Maria? Where were you when I was getting bullied? You could have helped me. I had people in Puerto Rico making fun of me. I had people in Miami making fun of me. The Cubans, I had them all coming at me. I just want milk. Gotta get your calcium. To tell I gotta drink that calcium. What it didn't help afterwards when I was on Twitter and people were like, that was an awesome show, and they were retweeting everything, and I started just putting glasses of Puss in Boots drinking milk, licking the milk. Kurt Angle, it was like it's done. So anyway, that's what. Yeah, there you go. There's your Leche story and what the hell was going on. So let's get back into this. AJ Styles announced on the pre-show of is it Crown Jewel? It was Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
He announced that next year will be his final year in professional wrestling. He announced that he will, even though he is in phenomenal shape, he's still one of the best in the ring, one of the greatest of all time in the ring. He's like, he wants to hang it up. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. And I understand it's the same thing John Cena says. Cena's like, I don't want to be where I'm embarrassed of myself. We've seen that though. We've seen that with The Undertaker. We've seen that with Goldberg. It's like, there's a time where you just, Ric Flair, it's a time when you need to stop, and it sucks. I get it because they live and they breathe it. It's hard to get away from. They know even when they embarrass us, and not Goldberg per se. I'm not trying to rag on Goldberg, but Goldberg's a different beast. But Undertaker, Flair, I understand it. The Hogan's, that's their life. They didn't want to get out of there. They'll do it until they can't breathe. But people like AJ Styles and John Cena, who love this business. I mean, they're putting they respect it enough to say, hey, we're going to take a step back and we're going to go ahead. Of course, John Cena has movies and TVs and whatever. AJ Styles is like, I just want to be around my kids. And now, he has a legacy to protect. So it is huge that AJ is going to retire when he still can do everything. How do you feel about him possibly stepping away from professional wrestling after next year? Do you think he still has enough in him to keep on a couple years, or do you think this is the right call for him?
Of course, it's time for him to step away. Like, yes, he could still go, but at what time? And AJ Styles is a very family-oriented person. He's got tattoos of his kids' names on his oblique. There was always rumors of him not wanting to be on SmackDown so we can go watch his kids play football on Friday nights instead of being at work. So it's time. Who are we to say, come on, keep on going, buddy? No, if he says he's done, then he deserves to say he's done. He's done everything. He's done everything he could possibly do. You debuted in the Royal Rumble in 2016. Everyone knew who he was, but he was never ever introduced in the WWE universe. That's how much of an impact he made throughout the whole wrestling business. Yeah, he can still go, but why? You have someone that we're going to talk about later, Chris Jericho. He should have literally given it up 10 years ago. His first couple years in AEW, it should have been a couple years in AEW, then become a manager, an agent, commentary, do something behind the scenes, help out the young people. But he kept on being on weekly television shows. So my favorite wrestler of all time, Chris Jericho, became one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time in the 2020s because of he's slow, old, out of shape, can't go. We've seen enough. And I don't want to get that with my AJ Styles. And the same thing with like athletes and actors as well, actresses. Not so much on that side because they can act until forever, but think about like an athlete. Think about Aaron Rodgers. People are like, man, enough's enough, Aaron. Like we've seen it. You tore your Achilles with the Jets. You came back and you had a miserable season. Now you're going with the Steelers. That was a big talking point in the offseason for the NFL fans. Sometimes people just want to see you go before you tarnish your legacy. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but he doesn't want to do that, which is great. That's going to be tough to give up your whole life. And then you have this second half of your life to live. That's got to be tough.
So, let me ask you this. If you, AJ Styles, still again, phenomenal shape, phenomenal in the ring, no pun intended. He's, obviously WWE's gotten better with family life and everything else. Everybody says that. Punk, they all say it. However, like you said, Friday nights, his kids play football. He wants to be able to watch them, enjoy them, everything. What is, do we think, because we know John Cena is pretty much a man of his word. Like, it's crazy to say, we know people are still going to be like, oh, one more match, and everything. We know that's going to continue throughout his career until he's old and frail. But John Cena I can never see coming back after this. I see him because he's just that. How do you call that word? Stubborn.
Loyal.
You know what? He's just by his word. He will. I'm not going to do it. Even if they give him $1 billion, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, maybe he'll do it. Yeah, but you know what I meant though. Where AJ, who is still in phenomenal ring shape, and everything else, and obviously still fresh in his business. Where John, is taking a step back. Is it crazy to think that? What if an AEW called him and said, "Hey, just give us a year, just 1 year." Now you get your. In the States, you get a AJ Kenny Omega, AJ Ospreay, AJ Mox. Is it worth it? Would you think we're like, okay, no, I want to see that? Or you're like, no, do not do any, like, this is the perfect thing. Let's run it. Let's finish this and go off into the sunset.
So if his idea is he doesn't want to embarrass himself, right? He said that multiple times already.
Okay.
You're going to go to an AEW, and Maria, close your ears.
I know. That's exactly what I thought of when you started saying this.
But you really, so AJ Styles doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of 60,000 fans at a WrestleMania or whatever, maybe, but he's okay with embarrassing himself in a 600-room cafeteria on Wednesday night on TBS, playing with his little boyfriends. Come on, he's not gonna. That's more embarrassing. Look at Ricochet. Maria again. Shh. Look at Ricochet. Look at all these guys that went over there. That's embarrassing. Look at Edge. His whole entrance is like he goes to both sides. He can't do that. There's no one on that side. It's like, look at Mercedes. Like, we're making fun of these people. And I don't think AJ would like to be made fun of. I could understand some people wanting to go to AEW for money reasons, right? Financial reasons. Let's say you don't care about your legacy. AJ Styles doesn't seem like the one to sell out for money. He seems like he cares about his legacy. So he's not in Andrade or in Santos Escobar, who literally held WWE hostage with his leverage of AEW. I'm sure. Did you hear about that story?
I did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the reports of what they paid Escobar was crazy for a literal jobber. Again, AJ Styles probably got one last paycheck from TKO, and he's like, this is good. I'm good now. What do I need to do? I don't want to be broken down. Cafeteria. Amir, I say close your ears. Come on.
You weren't supposed to hear that, Maria. Gosh.
It's embarrassing, right? When you see Ricochet, who's on top of the world in WWE, and then he's just this. Like, AJ Styles. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad when I see Bryan Danielson because I see a Hall of Fame true all-time great, and he's just entertaining these children, these things. So I don't think AJ Styles would want to do that.
I think you're right. I can understand if AJ really wants to face people that he hasn't gotten to face. We know he has faced them before, but in the States and that type of situation. But again, I think his story in WWE has been so good. Why taint it with leaving and then jumping somewhere else and maybe not having such a good run? And I think you could have a more, even though John Cena's second run in his final run has been perfect, and the way it's been done, minus the Lesnar thing, just because what was the point of that if you're just not going to, finish it off? But I mean, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, AJ Styles, that match, I mean, was ridiculous. That was a fun match. And those two legends being able to do that. I think you could get more out of an AJ Styles retirement tour than you would a John Cena retirement tour. People talk about John Cena should put this guy over, should put this guy over, should put this guy over. I think AJ could do that without damaging what he's done. He could still go over on some matches, but he could still put other guys over, especially up-and-comers who can match his style and put on 4 to 5 star matches. So WWE plans to do a retirement tour. I'm intrigued to see how that plays out. Obviously, I don't think they're going to do what they did with John Cena. They're not going to make it 5 more dates, 4 more dates, 3 more dates. We're just going to know, like, hey, he's probably going to retire at the end of the year, and then it's a wrap. So we're going to try our best to see, maybe not go. We're not going to go pay-per-view by PLE here, but just a rough idea of how this should play out. John Cena is on 4 more dates. He has 2 more Raws and then 2 more PLEs. SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and then the Saturday Night Main Event. And it looks like possibly the next opponent for John Cena reportedly is Dominic Mysterio. So we're going to see how that plays out. I mean, I did tell you I thought he would be the final opponent. Looks like he's going to be the 2 before the final opponent, and maybe the idea is John Cena trying to becoming the Grand Slam champion, and then and we'll go there when we get there. So I didn't have that on the docket, but that's just thrown out there before I forget it.
So John Cena wins the Intercontinental title to be the Grand Slam champion, and Gunther comes back for his championship that he wants.
Yep. He wins the tournament and faces John Cena for the IC championship at Saturday Night Main Event. That looks like to be the plan. And you know what? I like it because that completes Cena's titles. You know, now he has all the belts, or he's done it. And Gunther made that belt. He brought that belt out of mediocrity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, we're going to get to the Vision thing because I'm so intrigued by what happens now with the World Championship. I'm so intrigued by how that's going to play out. How much does the Seth Rollins injury impact the story now? Because we knew it was going into War Games. We knew we knew the Braun Breaker turn wasn't going to happen until probably the end of the year, next year, whatever. It happened sooner. What happens now? We're going to get into it. We'll get into it. But I don't see the comments as I'm doing this, but let's see here.
Don't worry. I just want to AJ Styles. Well, here, I'm going to address a couple of these and we'll get to.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not, by the way, my AJ Styles, it's not going to be match by match or opponents by opponents. It's just how I would want it to be. But Maria says AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay would be a box office. Honestly, no disrespect to those 2 athletes and wrestlers, because I think that they deserve it, but never in AEW. Here's a good analogy. Connor McDavid versus Nikita Kucherov in a whatever face-off, whatever. I would think that's box office. 2 of the best hockey players in the world. Bobby probably doesn't even know who these players are. You probably heard of them.
I know who Connor McDavid is.
Okay, but could you, if he walks into a room, would you go, that's Connor McDavid?
Yeah, I know his face.
What about Nikita Kucherov?
We faced him 2 years in a row.
What about Nikita Kucherov?
I don't know who the hell that is.
Exactly.
Is he Putin's secretary or something?
Come on. Now you're trolling me. You're trolling me. But he's one of the greatest hockey players. But that's my point is, if it's not on the grand estate, I'm not into the NBA, but I know So
I'm sorry.
But it wouldn't be box office because it's in the little leagues.
It's the same thing as So what you're saying is that WWE is the grandest stage and AEW is not, so it's not going to be box office. The loyal base is going to watch it, but half the base is not. If it's the same thing as seeing LeBron versus Michael Jordan, but it's in Ice Cube's basketball league compared to the NBA. Everyone's going to tune into the NBA to watch Michael Jordan and LeBron, but they're not going to go into the big 3 to watch that game.
But in the right circumstances,
is that the comparison?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, in the right story, in the right comparison, or right story and right promotion, or yes, of course. I mean, now we hear things that AEW's lying about their all-in attendance, and they're 9,000 people off, and there's this and that. They're not drawing, they're not selling. No matter who you put in there, Edge, Bryan Danielson, they stopped selling when CM Punk was fired. That's and when Cody left. Bottom line. But we're not here to talk about that. And I don't want to make Maria upset, but because I love AEW too. I'm looking forward to MJF coming back and cashing in on homeboy Adam Hangman Page. But so this retirement run with AJ Styles, I think retirement runs for me in my life started with Mariano Rivera or Derek Jeter. I forgot who retired first. Forgive me. But that's when every time Jeter went to a new stadium or new Seattle, or they always had a gift for him. Oh, look, the Mariners gifted Jeter this. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. That's, to me, when started the whole, everyone's got to have a retirement run. When, in fact, they don't always have to have one. And I don't think AJ Styles is that kind of person who's going to want a big focused run of, like you said, 27 more dates, 28 more dates. He's not that kind of person. And then I look at his biggest rivals ever. They're almost impossible to face. You're not going to have these swan songs. You're going to have these stories. You're not going to get Joe. You can't get Abyss. You can't. Too old. You're not going to get Christopher Daniels, too old. And plus, tied up probably somewhere else. You're not going to get Okada. He's tied up. You're not going to get Cena. We already got Cena. What like, so we're not going to have any, can't get Taker. Taker's gone. So like, it's going to have to be new people. It's going to have to be young people like, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to be the one that ends you. And AJ Styles keeps on winning until he finally gets taken out. Right. I could see like an Austin, like whatever, just name young person, Austin Theory comes back, right? He joins the Vision or whatever it may be. We're going to take you out. Well, he overcomes it. And eventually he does meet his match with whoever he wants to decide to crown as the next best person. Like, I think that's the way you do it. It's people trying to take out the old dog because he is the bulldog, right? Like, that's one of his nicknames. We're going to take you out. You think you're the bulldog or pit bull, whatever it was. We'll take you out. So I think him trying to scratch and crawl to survive his last year is what I would want him to do. Not more like the Ric Flair thing. Remember, he had to keep on winning.
Yes,
he was
yes.
fired?
Which I like that. I did like that story to it. Okay, let's do this differently.
Jeff Jarrett versus AJ. Yeah, why not?
Well, what's intriguing is the WWE TNA partnership. I will say, she said, Maria says Ric Flair and Hogan was a huge success or huge hit outside of WWE, but that was Flair and Hogan. Those were two on the pillar, mega stars. That's, Ospreay, it's not the same.
Let's put it this way. Go to a WWE live event. Just go. Ask the first 50 people you see, hey, what's your favorite Will Ospreay match? Let's see if they even know who he is. Because 100%, the TV ratings show they don't know who he is. The TV ratings show it, bruv. And it's unfortunate because he is spectacular. It's not his fault. It's Tony Khan's fault. He could be a star.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. This is an intriguing. I know I'm gonna get yelled at in a second. I'm waiting. I have my comments here. I just got them on my phone now because I don't have that because I got these slides here. But let me ask you these questions here, and then we're gonna go like at least 4 or 5 guys you would like to see him go against in this final year. Because if we let's equate taking time off and whatever, because I doubt he's gonna go on a full run. Would you like to see, because like Maria says, John Cena doesn't need the IC title, it's beneath him, he's a 17-time champion. John Cena has never been like that. John Cena won the US title, made a comment about to Roman Reigns going, I have this belt, and to you it's beneath you, but to me it's this. And I remember Roman kind of got offended by that, but it's true. So I could see John Cena saying, okay, yeah, if this pushes the story, then let's do it, and so I don't think it's beneath him at all. I think that's big for the IC title. I think it's more important to put that on a John Cena than on a Gunther, apparently, and maybe does Dom go to better and bigger things, possibly. But does AJ Styles need a belt in his final run? Should he, before he steps away, win one of the world titles?
So I'm gonna.
I know this is something you're different with, but I have to ask that.
I'm gonna just leave it here. I know, especially here's how I came into this podcast. Sometimes we have these topics and I go, I know how Bobby's gonna act. I know how Bobby's gonna react. I know what Bobby's gonna want, and you're gonna want some kind of TNA tie-in. I know you are. It's fine because now they're partnered up. It's fine. It makes sense. Save TNA. Do this. Yada yada yada. I wouldn't mind if you won a belt and if it was a TNA championship. But the problem with TNA right now and their association with WWE is they're on the same level as their developmental talent. So it'd be kind of silly for a main star, a legend, a Hall of Famer to go win a developmental championship belt, because that's how we view TNA, because that's who they're feuding with, NXT, who is self-proclaimed the developmental talent. So if they're on the same level, think about like 2 Division II school teams and Miami coming down there and beating them. Miami's not going to go down there and just have a 20-minute banger with Joe Hendry. No, he should crush him. He's a freaking superstar. So I don't know how you could do that without. Now you can go, they want to elevate TNA. Well, okay, the only way to do that is if you bring TNA talent to Raw or SmackDown. And I don't know if they're going to do that, because AJ Styles could defend that title on his home turf of WWE against those guys. But I don't know if they want Nick Nemeth on their main television show. I don't know if they want, people like that on their main television. I don't know. So the only way that he could win a title, if it was a TNA title, it would have to be big, and it would have to be, you can't defend it at TNA Bound for Glory. You can't defend it on NXT. It needs to be on the main roster. So if you're going to have him win a title, that's the way to do it. These mid-card titles, what would it do for him? What would it do for anybody? World title or nothing. So I'm okay with him winning any world title, world championship, WWE, or a TNA, if you're going to bring it to the main title or the main shows. What do you think about that?
Him bringing the TNA title?
Like if he won the TNA title, because that's a like Trick Williams, like these low level talent. I mean, talent as in how they're booked, how they're perceived. They're the ones carrying these titles. So if some big AJ Styles wins it, what does it mean? What does it truly mean? That he's the face of TNA? Well, he's the face of WWE too. He's the face that runs this place. That's what he was just announced as. So it'd be kind of silly for him to go out as a TNA champion and all that stuff. So if he does win a championship, I would prefer it to be WWE, but he doesn't need it. Long story short, he doesn't need it. He just needs to have awesome stories. Meaningful stories.
So first off, you're right? I mean, I'm not, you know me pretty well in regards of these topics, in regards of, I do think the nostalgic thing is for him to, because if John Cena is the face of WWE, right? If John Cena is the GOAT, AJ Styles is the GOAT of TNA. I mean, homebred, he was built there, grew there. Same thing with Samoa Joe and those guys. When you look at those guys, especially our age, we know those guys from that company. And AJ was that guy. I mean, he made TNA. So yes, I would love to see him do it one more time, win that TNA title, cross it over to WWE, build it up against other big stars or whatever the hell, and then drop it to another TNA guy, whoever that may be, someone on the up over there, and then that belt, then it's still the TNA belt, and then it has some prestige, or heightened prestige, because now it went back to AJ. I think that would be a good run. So I love it. I love that idea. One more X Division run. I don't know if he has it in him. I'm not saying that. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, they call him the GOAT. That John Cena is the GOAT. So if he's the GOAT of WWE, that while AJ was the GOAT of, or the face of TNA, that's my point. We know, you could have a debate all day of who the GOAT is and all this whatnot. Maybe one of these days, we'll have a show about debating who's the GOAT.
Anthony says, what about him winning the X Division here? DSG said it too. Guys, that's low level. If the world championship of a low level talent isn't good enough for AJ Styles, at least in my opinion, why would a mid card title be like, who is he going to wrestle to make I saw Javon Evans in there. What's that going to do? Like, I know Javon Evans is this and that, and we like him. I like him, right? He's good. But why are we not going with main event talent?
I'm with you.
Talking about guys like, we did the LA Knight story already. That's been done. But Jacob Fatu, that could be done. That's easily could be done. Jacob Fatu is a natural heel anyway. I can't stand.
But I think what people, when people, because they do the same thing with Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles, or when they try to do these dream matches, I always wonder, because a lot of times they go, oh, they want a guy identical in styles. Sometimes that's not always the best match. Sometimes it doesn't fit. Get me this guy versus this guy because they're both high flyers and they do all this bam, 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 bam. Sometimes it's not the best fit. Sometimes it's that heavy hitter, like a Jacob Fatu versus an AJ Styles, or look at John Cena and AJ Styles. Look at them. John Cena is not a high flyer. John Cena is nothing like those guys. But John Cena and AJ Styles were able to put that type of match together, type of match that made you at the edge of your seat, a match that even AEW marks went crazy for. Sometimes that's the best match. Sometimes you don't need to see that Trick Williams, AJ Styles, or Evans, AJ, Camilla Hayes, whatever you want to say. Because it's just like, what are we getting? Is that really a match that's AJ versus Rey Mysterio? If Rey has it, because we know Rey's at the end, that might be something. But again, it's because it's more grounded, and these are two guys that know the business. They know how to put on a match, how to tell a story in the ring. It's not just high spots. It's a story. But it's a story that we really need to see. Is it like I really need to see that match? That's what I'm talking about. So it is hard because if you're saying only 5 guys, of course there are matches you want to see, but what are the matches that are blockbuster that are going to stand out that AJ might look back and go, man, I was proud of that match. That was fun. Because John Cena's looking at a couple of these matches, Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, that he's going, I'm proud of this match. I love this match. What match can we put for AJ that he could be proud of? Moose would be a TNA match, maybe. So we're not saying he's only going to do 5 matches. We're just thank you. That is Maria. That was the name I was thinking of. I don't know how I forgot it. All right. Give me 5 names that you would like to see. And I know this is off the top of your head. It's not going to be perfect. You may change it. You may go, oh, wait, what about this guy? But just off the top of your head, if you're like, man, even if we saw it before, I know that, oh, let's try something different. Who does he put over? But what are 5 matches like, man, if this is AJ's last run, I want to see this guy one more time. I want to see this guy.
All right. Well, I was compiling my list, and Maria, before Anthony, you just got, so 2 of my people that have already been in the chat, by the way. So I only got 2. My first 2 were CM Punk and Obafemi. So CM Punk is natural. I think that should go down. It doesn't have to be heel versus heel or babyface. It could be babyface versus babyface, because CM Punk doesn't need to be heel or babyface. He's CM Punk. His direction is always business. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That was his first statement of his first promo, and he's been that way since. He's about business. He's never been about personal. Yes, he got personal with Drew McIntyre, but because Drew McIntyre got in his business. So that could be a business thing. Obafemi, I think, would be phenomenal. I'm glad you brought that up, Anthony, because that could be a situation where he fights up. That's a big guy. You want to put this guy over. It'd be a great series of matches to get this guy to look good, because he's going to be the future of WWE pretty soon. What I've heard, he's done great things in NXT, so they'd be a great matchup, of course. We've seen LA Knight, right? I mentioned Jacob Fatu, but Jacob Fatu has to be a heel. He has to turn heel eventually. He has to. So I'd love to see Jacob Fatu versus AJ Styles in some meaningful matchup. But are we going to get a lot of like tag matches? I feel like we're going to get some tag matches throughout.
That might be and again, those might be the matches in between and all that. Not the, like, when I say 5 matches, I'm talking like 5 quality matches that you want to see before he wraps it up. The tag matches are the tag matches. A phenomenal match. I see what you did there, Josh. There you go. AJ versus Jey Uso. Maria throws out there. Anthony says Walter, Ray Phoenix, Penta, Dragon Lee, and Macklin. So throwing 5 out. That's his top 5. So, but I'm sorry. Okay, so you said Obafemi, CM Punk.
Yeah. So okay, I got a couple more that I just thought about off the top of my head. But Braun Breaker has to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think we can go without Braun Breaker. I think that'd be great. And guys, I don't think AJ Styles should lose all these matches. I think he should go over most of them. I really do. I think he needs to look strong for that last person. Why is he going to lose to CM Punk, then lose to Obafemi, then lose to Braun Breaker? So that means the very last person he faces, if he does lose, means nothing, because everybody beat him. He has to come out winners on most of these. So that too. And man, like if I'm thinking like Gunther, obviously, Gunther has to be one. And I think we have to do a Finn Balor. I don't think they've had a proper feud in WWE, and they've been passing by the Bullet Club, yada, yada, yada. They have history. That has to be done. I don't think they've done a great job at pointing out that they have real history throughout multiple promotions. So I think him and Finn Balor will be a good matchup.
I like that. So just the names that you've thrown out there, CM Punk, Obafemi, Braun Breaker, those 2 right there, or even Fatu, those 3 would be ones that, you're elevating. You don't have to lose all of them, but those are guys that you're giving those opportunities. They think we face. And of course, Gunther, who I think is still in that ballpark, even though he's already been the world champion. He's had Goldberg. He's more than likely to have John Cena. Finn Balor, I like that because of the history. Everybody knows the history. You don't have to be a New Japan guy to know the history between Balor and AJ Styles. So I think that's a great one. Let's see. Finn Balor indeed.
Can I answer Anthony's question?
Yes.
So it's addressed to me, but Anthony asked, but Josh, don't you think AJ really doesn't care about winning at this point of his career? Don't you think he would rather put over the young talent? Him winning doesn't do anything for a young guy. Let me stop. and let me try to sway you. First off, he doesn't have the decision if he wins or loses. John Cena's actually come out. I don't have the decisions. TKO, Triple H, the creative team makes the decisions. These are just employees. Last I heard, the only people with creative controllers, Mercedes Monet, and possibly a couple other clowns over in AEW. Secondly, him winning does do stuff for the young guys. And I'll tell you why. Losing to AJ Styles in his final run is not a shame. And if you really want to put someone over at the very end, which most people are going to want, they even want that with Cena, right? Everybody wants to, the old guy has to put over the new guy. Kurt Angle did it with Baron Corbin. What happened? But that being said, if you're going to, okay, let me put it to you this way. The Miami Dolphins are going to lose 8 games in a row. The ninth team that beats them, who cares? That's just another team that beat them. Doesn't mean anything. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs or the Indianapolis Colts, they're on a hot streak right now. We didn't think that they would be this good. So when they get beat, that means something. Oh, wow, they lost. Oh, wow, that team beat Cincinnati Bengals beat the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. Wow, nobody expected that. Wow, are the Bengals actually competing? Wow, they have a decent record. That division's winnable. It gets people thinking. If the Bengals just beat another loser, another Tennessee Titans or Miami Dolphins, who cares? So that's the point. You need to have wins to look good for a loss to actually matter. So you can't just lose every single feud, or what are we doing? So I don't know if that helped you or swayed you or made you think differently. I see your way as well, man. I don't want to see young talent get buried, but again, losing to a legend is not like losing to a Carmelo Hayes or someone like an Andrade, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not big in that whole, like, it has to make sense. There has to be like, what happens after? Because again, Austin Theory beat John Cena. Solo Sikoa beat John Cena. What did it do for them? Solo got better after, but Austin Theory kind of went away. John Cena put a lot of people over, especially in the second run of his career. Kurt Angle put Baron Corbin over at WrestleMania. He gave a young guy a chance. Baron Corbin, the lone wolf. I mean, it looked like he was going to be on a tear. It looked like he was going to be on a major run up in that point. He didn't look at it when he was going to go against Kurt Angle. We knew already, like, this is nowhere for him. This is not doing anything for him. You do it. He wins. This should be a big deal. This is freaking Kurt Angle. To me, one of the GOATs. I mean, he had everything. It sucks that his career was so short. It sucks that his WWE career was short because he went to TNA. It is what it is. But he had everything. You beat Kurt Angle, that should mean something. And it should have meant something. But I rather would have seen a John Cena versus Kurt Angle to be the final match, or a Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, because we know those stories, than a Baron Corbin, because it did nothing for him. Because what was the follow-up? Exactly. It did nothing for Austin Theory. It did nothing for Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa, post Bloodline, it did something for him. The rub-off Bloodline did a lot for Solo Sikoa, and his character change did a lot for him. Austin Theory, if he's become a part of the vision, maybe that does something for him, but it did nothing to go over on John Cena. So it's not always the best thing to say, have AJ lose to a bunch of young guys. It's just better. But it really just depends. When The Rock went over on Hogan at WrestleMania 18, that made sense, because even though Rock was already The Rock, but The Rock we knew what he was, and we know what that did for him. Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker made no sense, right? Undertaker didn't need to do that, but Roman over the Undertaker did wonders. Of course, it wasn't until Roman finally broke free and was Roman Reigns, Joe Anoa'i, and that meant something. Again, I'm not a big fan of, they should just put a bunch of young guys over. Let's just throw a bunch of random names out there. Don't throw random names at me. Give me a legitimate name that's on the up. You know what I mean? Like, Evans and this guy and this guy. Look, those guys are great. They're talented. They're talented dudes, but they're not on those levels to just go over on an AJ Styles. You bring up, Obafemi. He's right there. He's on the cusp. You could do that. Get away with that. Braun Breaker. We were debating Braun Breaker over John Cena being the final opponent. You could get away with Braun Breaker over AJ Styles, because AJ Styles is going to be here for a longer run. It's not like, that's this, and Braun Breaker, it's going to mean so because he's on the up. What happened with Seth Rollins? You saw the reaction, and it's just about how that continues. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is a guy for sure. Bronson Reed. I love Bronson Reed. I'm a big fan of Bronson Reed. You know where that guy is going. I mean, he already destroyed Seth Rollins once. He did it again on Monday night. Names for me, I did have Braun Breaker on there. I have Gunther. CM Punk was a name I was thinking about. I don't know why I kept thinking until Maria brought it up. I love Finn Balor. I would like to see as fun either Roman or Seth. That's a guilty pleasure one. I like to see one of those guys. I always enjoyed the Brock versus AJ Styles match back in the day when they did it.
Yeah, that was good. Yep.
I would love to see them run that back. I would love to see one more if we get one more. I don't know if you have time for it, but that is something I'd like to see. And yes, and you can throw a couple names. I seen Moose out there. That's cool. You want to throw a couple TNA names out there. Joe Hendry,
Santana.
Santana's
legit, man. Like
I know. No. I think that's good, right? I appreciate Anthony bringing that up. Stop it. But yes, you brought this name up earlier, and this has been a name that I've been thinking about. His run is about to end in AEW, and he said I may retire too, but I'd love to see one more match: Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. One more match.
That'd be awesome.
I would love to see that. And you know what? I know where they stand, but I know both of those guys. First off, I'm a diehard Samoa Joe fan. I've always loved Samoa Joe.
Are you buying the pay-per-view then?
Say what?
Die Hard. He's got a World Heavyweight Championship. Wrestle Dream, brother. Die Hard. You should watch it. Yeah.
I can see it on my TV. I can put it on there.
Review it, brother.
I don't have to pay for it. I'm not gonna pay for it, but I'll look at it. I still have to watch everything else with it. But I love Samoa Joe. I wish he won the WWE title. I wish he beat Brock. He should have beat Brock. Or they should have did more than one match with Brock Lesnar. Him and Brock Lesnar together felt real. The fighting, the physicality. Brock said Brock loved the physicality of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe in TNA was epic. I love Samoa Joe in TNA. When he came to WWE, I thought it was really cool. NXT first. I'd love to see just one more match. I know that might be a long shot, but give me one more match of that.
Listen,
go ahead.
This is Anthony said I gotta address this. This whole AEW WWE part never gonna happen.
No,
do you guys think AEW wouldn't allow a backstage guy like Christopher Daniels to come in for one more match?
Does everybody see what's going on with Andrade?
Exactly.
Come on.
WWE's exactly. So there's bad blood already. And on top of that, Christopher Daniels is retired. He had a retirement match with Adam Page.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I don't think he can do it. And again, if he was in ring shape and still, I would be happy to see that because that is a running it back, and TNA fans would love it. But I don't see it. They have a partnership with TNA. If Samoa Joe's a free agent, or leaves the AEW, I think we could see that. And I'd love to see that in an AEW ring. I mean, a TNA ring. Do it in TNA, a pay-per-view for TNA. I'd love to see that. TKO is all about the cash. We get it. It is what it is. This is not. You could hate Vince McMahon all you want for everything whatever he is, but we know what he was. That was his baby. Wrestling was his baby. Again, TKO criticized him recently, saying, the tickets were too low because he wanted family pricing. Fill up the arena with families. TKO is about the money, and guess what? People are still paying. So, same day as the Dolphins. You want real change? Don't show up. A name that was brought up. No, it wasn't brought up, but I wrote it down. If Jericho leaves AEW, are you at all interested in Jericho versus AJ?
I can live the rest of my life without seeing a Chris Jericho match ever again, and I'm being serious.
Okay.
And he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
I know.
And I can go. I'm done. I don't live with nostalgia. I can move on. Chris Jericho has showed his true self with AEW. All that he talked, and I understand Cody destroyed Triple H's throne with a sledgehammer on a pay-per-view. Like, I understand the shots were fired. Jericho's also shots fired, saying that in 1 year there'll be competitors with Raw and this and that. Jericho has said a lot of things, but the one thing I know about Jericho is he's all about himself. He'll latch himself on to WWE. Oh yeah, we're cool. Everything's cool. He's just a weasel that is staying on to what's trendy and relevant, and I have no need to see him. What can be done in WWE that you want to see? What story would make you go, "Oh man, Jericho versus this"? There's not one.
I'll tell you what, there is one. There is one. I'm with you though. I'm not very interested in a final run by Jericho. I don't know what matches or story I'd be interested in. And it must sound really bad. I mean, but I'm sure he's in better shape, obviously. But like in the shape he's in and all that, I don't know. He's not going to be a main event player. I'm not interested in seeing Punk versus Jericho, or I just don't know if there's any one guy. I will tell you, I think the only spot I would love to see it in is a Royal Rumble. In that final WrestleMania, that final run, like that from WrestleMania, from oh fuck. I just
have you seen them in the same? Have you seen Jelly Roll and Jericho in the same room together? Because I haven't.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Who's in better shape right now, Jericho or Jelly Roll? It's questionable.
I would say if not a whole season, not a whole year of Jericho, I'd rather see him, that music, the countdown, the explosion, break the walls, Royal Rumble. That's a pop. You're gonna, big moment. He has a whole bunch of people to work with very quick. Makes him look like $1 million. That save protects him. Eventually gets eliminated. Maybe he's the top 4. Okay, that's great. He has that final run, and instead of AJ having a whole year, he only has three months. WrestleMania being his final match, get inducted into the Hall of Fame with Stephanie McMahon, which would be good because they have a story together too. And that's it. That's what I would do with Jericho. Again, you could have him in the Royal Rumble, have him have a match at the Elimination Chamber, whoever you want to put him with, let him put over that whatever, or let him be involved in, I don't know, the Elimination Chamber match for the world title, whatever, give him that little bit of a rub, gets eliminated, and then WrestleMania final match, put him in the Elimination Chamber, in the WrestleMania, have him put over somebody at WrestleMania, and then he goes, retires into the sunset.
All right, here's what we do. First off, I want to address so Anthony doesn't ask again. I saw your question for Psycho Clown. Not gonna happen. It just can't happen. It's on box office. It'd be a cool match. Don't get me wrong. I know who Psycho Clown is. I watched that whole AAA YouTube pay-per-view. Yeah, but it's not gonna happen. It just.
Well, and again, DSG.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to say, because the newsflash, nobody has been watching Jericho. His return is going to be way bigger than you guys think. Mark my word. Again, Jericho returning will get a huge pop. Jericho in WWE is different from Jericho in AEW. No question. The first undisputed champion, the man that beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night, Chris Jericho. Yes, his return will be major. The arena will get loud. Josh, being the number 1 Jericho fan in the ring, will pop. Oh, there he is. We're all going to go nuts. It's the next night and the next night and the next week and the whatever. How long does that go on? The return will be huge. Edge coming out at Royal Rumble. Huge. That's why the best thing to do for him. That's why I said the top 3 things. If you're going to have him come back as a performer, have him come back at the Royal Rumble. Big pop. Elimination Chamber. He's safe. Multiple people. Doesn't have to do a one-on-one. Then you do the WrestleMania and let him finish off whatever he's going to do, and then he could do whatever the hell he wants after that. That's how I would do it.
I got it. I got how to book Jericho and make it make sense. I got it. Hear me out. And as you were talking, Rumble, yes. Okay, sure. Return at the Rumble. That's fine. This aligns with what we think Gunther's going to do. If Gunther beats John Cena for that Intercontinental Championship at Saturday Night's Main Event, and then a couple months later, in the Rumble, Jericho returns, somehow gets involved with Gunther. He is the literal title holder or record holder of the most Intercontinental Championships in WWE. Chris Jericho is. Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship of all time. Jericho's coming back for one thing, to show everybody he's the greatest IC champion of all time. Gunther versus Jericho. Gunther could retire Jericho. Done.
At WrestleMania.
Done.
And then he becomes the Legend Killer.
Well, and it works because Gunther works a slower style. He can talk on the mic. He's a great heel. He could recognize Jericho as an all-time great yet, whatever, but he's old and washed. The story writes itself. I think that'd be a great. That's the way
DSG
you do
saying, man.
Jericho.
DSC saying, hey, Jericho's might work as top 2. He will turn you into a believer because he will be prime time again. You watch and see. WWE can have Jericho. Us sickos will gift wrap him and ship him out to Stanford. Oh, WWE can have him. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you got the AEW mark in the house. Maria, she's saying, you guys, we could have him. WWE could have him.
Hey, you know what? Dynamite's been a lot easier to watch without Jericho. That's a true fact, true statement. Jericho's been awful for the past 5 years.
And you know what? Hey, Jericho could come back to WWE, and all of a sudden he has a revival in his career. Maybe because now he has the writers. He doesn't have the free reign with Tony Khan. Maybe we go, oh crap, wait a second. This is actually working. This is fun. This is fun, Jericho again. Maybe, just maybe, but I'm just saying, if you're thinking like, man, do we really want this Jericho that we're seeing? Go ahead and put him in that 3-match run and then let him get the Hall of Fame and step away from the ring. And, I don't know what you could do with him after that. Put him as a commentator. I have no clue. Put him as a coach for LFG or whatever. I don't know, but the learning tree was stupid.
So was the all of it was stupid except for the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle, the original group of Sammy Guevara and those guys, Santana, Ortiz, that was the best thing he ever did in AEW. Everything after that was disaster. Disaster.
There you go. Yeah, you guys, everyone who's tuning in, we appreciate you guys watching. Those who are tuning in afterwards, thank you for joining us and watching the show. Put in the comments what you think about AJ Styles' final run. How do you think it should play out? Who would you like to see AJ Styles face? Chris Jericho, should he return to AEW or should he go back to the WWE and finish off his career? What would you like to see Jericho do? Let's moving on to a big moment on WWE Raw, and which was the Vision turning on Rollins. Seth Rollins in the ring, gloating, having a good time. Seth Rollins was kind of throwing hints like something big is coming. That was something, not this. Something big is coming, throwing out about, I don't need these guys. I don't need Heyman. I don't need Breaker or Bronson. I won, and you could kind of see a little bit of hits here and there. I didn't know anything about any injury until after the fact. So it was a very shock, but it was done so well. It was done really, really, really well. It was so unexpected where Breaker goes to the corner, comes out of nowhere, spears the hell out of Seth Rollins, out of his shoes, basically. Heyman's expression, and then he looks at Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed, we know, has destroyed Seth Rollins before. That's why it was always kind of odd that he was in that group, but still, it's like, don't poke the freaking bear, literally. Braun tells him, you're either with me or not. And Bronson Reed's like, I got you, bro. And he freaking tsunamis him. They basically write off Seth Rollins. We find out after the reason why this turn happened so quickly was that Seth Rollins was injured in the match with Cody Rhodes, which was the coast to coast, injured his arm. Which begs the question, first off, do you think, very quick, do you believe in this injury? Do you think this injury is legit this time?
Yes. Why would it be? Why would it be fake?
Because they faked the leg injury. It was the swerve for the Money in the Bank. So people are not trusting this. Is this another way for him to swerve CM Punk and protect the title? If it is legit, if you believe it's legit, which I'm with you, I'm just telling you what other people are saying up on there, because I think it is. I saw the replay. It did not look good. And you can kind of see he's favoring his arm throughout the show. And even when he takes that spear, he's favoring his arm. Rotator cuff, I believe it is. So if it's legit, it makes sense to make this turn, because you got to write him out of the group. He's not going to be the back end group, the back leader, the end in the shadows. You can't hold on to the title. What happens to the world title now? And where does this story go from here?
So everyone wants Braun to have this championship. Everybody. And I don't agree. I agree and I don't agree. CM Punk is the number one contender. I don't know how they're going to get to wherever they get to for the CM Punk match. But CM Punk can't win this title. Period. Babyfaces, first off, we already have a babyface champion in WWE, and it's Cody Rhodes. You need to have like the four. Like I said this on Thursday.
For now,
you
you didn't watch the running of SmackDown.
I didn't. Whatever. Nobody watches SmackDown. It's like AEW. Nobody watches. So you need the balance. You need the heel. I agree with that. So in a babyface going in, like CM Punk holding this title into WrestleMania is so lame. A babyface holding a championship going into Mania is just like the story you don't want. You want the babyface chasing. What's the best way to do it? What's the best way to make Braun Breaker even more angry, more of an animal? I see you're just going to go against everything I can say because I hate Brock Lesnar. Put the title on Brock Lesnar. He already has loose connections with Paul Heyman. This could be a Paul Heyman going like Braun Breaker, whatever, loses and whatever, however they do it. But Brock Lesnar's the one that can beat CM Punk. We get that match. Now Punk's down bad. Braun's still like kind of like he's an angry guy. He's an aggressive guy. You can't trust him. He's loose cannon. So now he has another chip on his shoulder for Paul Heyman. This could set up. Everyone wants to bark. Everybody wants to bark. We love Braun Breaker. This is how you get him to turn babyface, and he could beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania after he wins a Rumble or an Elimination Chamber or whatever it may be. That's the direction I would go, and I hate Brock Lesnar. But this is to get Braun Breaker over as a babyface. If he just beats CM Punk and he's the heel, what do we do then? Then what do we do? He just beat the top babyface on the show. That's it. He's done. Like he's this now. Who can face him? Because he already beat the top babyface. Who's next? Who else could beat him? If CM Punk can't do it, everybody else is gone. You can't have him beat the top guy right away. We can't do it. I'm sorry. Can't do it. You can't. So I know everybody wants Braun to be champion, and if they do it, fine. I'll live with it. But that's not the move I'm making. And I hate Brock Lesnar. But you got to somehow get him in there, weaseled in. Because Paul Heyman was scared. He showed the emotion of like, oh no. He didn't show the emotion of, I knew this was coming the whole time. He only raised their hands because he had no choice. I hope this isn't another situation with him and the MFTs or Solo Sikoa and those thugs.
I agree with that.
He had to be scared. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't want that again.
And the only way he can get control back is he gets his old friend Brock Lesnar back. Because he is afraid of Braun Breaker. And he is making deals on the side with his buddy Brock. That's the way I would do it. And I hate Brock Lesnar.
The obvious move, just because of what we saw at the end, was putting the strap on Braun Breaker. It's the obvious move because of what we saw. I don't think it's the right move. Again, I stand by what I said. The same thing with John Cena, putting over being the final opponent. Braun Breaker is to, again, I'm saying it, still has a long way to go. You put the belt on him, it may be a little too soon to do that. Again, because right now you've just made my point. You're like, he has to be a face. Well, why make him a heel? What's the point? He should be a baby face. Make me this better up. Can you really, truly, I only see him as a heel. I can see him in between, but I only see him as a heel. A scary heel that you don't want to with. Him and Bronson Reed together is money. It's easy.
It is.
Those two monsters coming down the ramp, even though they're not the same size and all this, is equal to Undertaker and Kane coming down the ramp. You know you're going to get your ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Breaker all of a sudden walking around with the belt all of a sudden and everything else. I just can't. It's not there yet. He needs a little bit more time. Now this turn, the way this went out, that it again, and the plan was for it to happen a year from now. That's what's reported. It was done right. It felt real. But again, Bronson Reed is still standing there. Because to me, it would have been like, oh, Bronson Reed going, what the hell are you doing? And going after Braun Breaker. Breaker goes after Reed. And then now he's truly solo. But he's not solo right now. He was like, you're with me or not? So, yes, the obvious thing is put the belt on him. But does that make sense right now? I think you're right on. I think the idea of throwing the belt on Lesnar and Paul Heyman going with Lesnar makes a lot more sense than a Braun Breaker. I think CM Punk with the belt. He's more injury. He's injury prone too. He hasn't been injured past year. Now I understand, he had the belt, dropped it, but I think Punk, because he has all these heels to work with, makes a lot more sense than Braun Breaker. And because you're pitching Braun Breaker as a babyface, I don't see Braun Breaker as a babyface. I don't think it works. It's not going to sell merch. That does not sell merch. Yoo-hoo! He's high-fiving kids, taking pictures, kissing babies. What are we talking about? Braun Breaker is a heel saying, "You hey fatso," like his uncle fatso, but that works. And Paul is like, "Hey dude, that's a lady," and he's laughing. That works. Braun Breaker as a heel works, not Braun Breaker as a babyface. And again, I still think there's a little bit of time before we throw the belt on him. And I'm not saying it's not going to work eventually, just not right now. Punk makes more sense. Brock Lesnar as the Beast makes more sense. And eventually, like you said, maybe Bronson and Breaker, maybe they're the guys standing behind, and and eventually Braun Breaker turns around and goes after Lesnar, and maybe then that's when it works. But right now, it doesn't work. I mean, I think I would put the strap on Bronson Reed over. I put it over before Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed has destroyed world champ. He's beaten Roman Reigns. He's beaten Seth Rollins. He's beaten those guys in the middle of the ring. He's destroyed Braun Strowman. I mean, moment after moment. Imagine him as a champ. He's a modern day Mark Henry. He's a monster. But I just don't know if either of those guys, like, again, I'm not saying put the belt on Bronson Reed, but I think it makes more sense than Braun Breaker. You have Lesnar there. You get all the baby faces in the world. He doesn't have to defend it every show. CM Punk has all these heels to work with. Gunther obviously looks like he's in line for the IC title. So why, that's not going to happen. Just do we think Jey Uso could do it? Jey Uso, does Roman Reigns? If you're going to pitch Brock Lesnar, should we pitch Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns has beef with these guys. Roman Reigns has beef with Seth Rollins. Think about the story when Seth Rollins comes back. Obviously, he's going to come after these guys, but Seth trying to go after Roman Reigns. To me, those make more sense than a Braun Breaker right now. And again, I love Braun Breaker. You know that since he's been in there. And I think he should be Braun Steiner, but it is what it is. I think he's made a name for himself, and it's perfect. But you debating like, he should be a babyface and this and that, that's telling me they're making my point. There's nothing for him yet. It makes no sense because if you put him as a champion as a babyface, it's not going to work. Nope. He'll fall out in the back and disappear. What he's doing right now is perfect. Like you said, let him be the hungry animal. Maybe he goes for the title and loses it. And it's scarier with him chasing the shark, chasing the blood, going after the title, going after those who screwed him. And then that's where now, even if it's heel, you could put him with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Breaker. That works. Because Brock Lesnar, it doesn't have to be a face, a good guy, to go against the heels.
Nope.
I think that works. Him protecting Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman now, I would love to see Paul Heyman back with Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, but really it'd probably be Brock Lesnar. Anyway, that's just me. And I know I haven't seen the names, and forgive me, guys. I haven't looked at the comments. I will. And I'm sure I'm getting yelled at, but it's okay.
Bronson wants to let you know that Maria wants to let you know that Bronson Reed beat Okada in New Japan.
There you go. I mean, Bronson Reed.
I was gonna say Ichiro had like 1,000 hits in Japan too.
DSG, what am I hearing? Did Josh just put over the Beast? In due time, Josh, let him cook. Dave Batista beating Triple H at Mania was an obvious move. After quitting Evolution, it still worked. Again, it wasn't rushed. Batista did not right away betray Triple H. Randy Orton won the title with the group. They turned on Randy Orton. They beat him up. They kicked him out. Yep. Batista stayed with Triple H. He was the loyal soldier. They started teasing a turn. The Elimination Chamber. Triple H allowed Batista to get pinned, even though he could have saved Batista. They kind of teased like, hey man, he let you get beat. And he looked at him. He stayed loyal. Batista won the Rumble. They said, hey,
Mhm.
they were still buddies. And he's like, hey, man, you're going to SmackDown, right? You're going to take on JBL? You go, yeah. All of a sudden, nope, I'm going after you. Then the turn. That's why it worked. That's why it worked.
Yep.
Let's not have revisionist history on why it worked. That's what I'm saying. You're Batista. Yes, follow the Dave Batista formula. Do not rush it. Batista's a legend. Batista's great. And I love Batista more as a heel as a face, but it worked both ways. Breaker has to take out Bronson before the Beast. I like that. That would go way over. I think that would be really good.
It'd be cool.
But hey, I get it. Hey, look, I love Braun Breaker. I'm just not there yet. I'm not ready for him to do that. So I got confidence in Breaker. Throw him in the deep end. He's going to swim. I love it. Got to change his name to Steiner too. I was down with that. Once Braun has some cool merch, it's going to sell. It's going to sell to the DSGs and the Marias of the world. But those who are on the fence, again, as a babyface, why would I buy the woof woof? If he's a heel, I would buy the heel. I mean, do I want the or do I want the woof woof? I'm the babyface. No, I want the you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real here.
Okay, I think, and I don't want to expand on this too long, but I think you're stuck in the 90s, like babyface. Like they don't have to, or even the PG era. Look at CM Punk. Is he a true babyface? He can still be edgy. He can still tell you that he's going to go after. He could look Cody Rhodes in the face and say, "Yeah, I'm still gonna beat you on Sunday." Like you could still be edgy in this era of WWE.
But it's not the same. It's not the same when it's a baby face.
Look at Roman right now. What's Roman? Roman never turned true white meat babyface. He's always been Roman. Roman has never changed.
But no, he hasn't. But, and I've always said, I think, especially now, he should be in between. Which he is. But again, I get more excited when I see him going like talking to himself. He's kind of teasing. Yeah. He's telling Jey Uso, and he's saying, Jey won the world title. Jimmy, what did you do? I love that. And I'm waiting for the next phase of Roman Reigns. Roman as a heel is the best thing, Roman. But Roman switching back and forth, that's okay too. But again, Roman as a heel, I'm waiting for that again. And maybe this is now the time to do it, And maybe Braun Breaker just needs that heel. Maybe he needs a go after a Roman Reigns as a heel, or maybe, even though it's been switched. There you go. There's a hot take. Punk has become lame. He's no longer edgy.
It's because his wife works there now.
Well, he's trying to play it cool and whatever. But again, he has to grow up. I don't have no issue with CM Punk right now. I think he's great. I think you could put him as a heel and he'll fly off the roof. I think it'll be great as him as a heel. But it works right now. He's older. It makes sense. He's buddies with everybody. But give him a mic, put him in a story, and I mean, damn, it's still good. Him and John Cena were killing it. I don't think he's lame at all. I think he grew up. I think it's mature. What do we still want? Babyface? We still want little boy Punk where, pipe bombs. Oh, yeah. No, he's a grown ass man now. Come on now. What do we want?
I thought about that.
Go ahead.
I watch more of the Shawn Michaels.
Yes, she said it. You can't be a 56-year-old rebel, a 50-year-old rebel. I know.
Shawn Michaels came back as not the rebellion person like he was before he left. So like CM Punk's in his new era. So I actually appreciate it. I wonder how many kids or people today are watching CM Punk the way I watched Shawn Michaels. I didn't see the first half of his career. I was too busy watching.
That's a great point.
Stuff. So I wonder how many kids didn't know all that stuff that happened before.
But if Punk goes heel, he will be edgy, and it will work because of us, the ones who saw him before. And that's the same thing when Shawn Michaels when he was in Canada, he teased Bret Hart and he made fun and he put Bret Hart's music, and then he sweet chin music Hogan, and he was that was fun. That was like, oh, wait a second, he knew how to do it, and he went back to being the all good guy. Praise Jesus, all this, whatever. And I mean, it's cool. I mean, I appreciate that Shawn Michaels. The second Shawn Michaels was great, but you got glimpses of the old. So I think you could still see that with CM Punk. We're running low on time here. I just want to touch on a couple things. Jacob Fatu. We talked about how after he won the United States title, he was red hot. He was the Braun Breaker. Where he needs the world title. He needs this. He gets the United States title. Flatlines. Loses against Solo Sikoa. They kind of butchered the whole damn thing. He flatlines again. He was supposed to have a number one contenders match with Drew McIntyre. beforehand to find out that, hey, he's injured, they're going to write him off. Show he's not going to be on TV for a while. They say he's on the show yesterday. All of a sudden, they cut to the back. He's laying in a pile of blood. His teeth is all over the floor. Pretty gruesome look. See, Cody Rhodes comes out. Drew McIntyre is complaining. Cody says, let's do this right now. World title match, one-on-one. They go at it. We'll touch on that in just a second. But Jacob Fatu being out indefinitely, what's your thoughts on this? I think the report is he's out. I think he's getting the reason why his teeth are all over the floor. He's getting new teeth or something like that, I guess. But anyway, hopefully everything works out. He's a beast. We love him here on the show. But I think, to me, I think this is a blessing in disguise. Get him off TV for a while. Get him away from people's eyes. Let him be away, and then he makes that big return later, that surprise return, and then you put him right in that title picture, whatever that title picture may look like. I think it could work. I think this was the best case for him because there's nothing for him right now.
Yeah, he's stale, boring. He's still over. When he comes out, people are still excited, but he is stale, and there's nothing for him. I think that Solo feud killed him. I really do. Losing to Solo, hindsight, killed him, killed his character. Him turning babyface to me killed his lore. Should have never happened. He should have never turned babyface. That was silly. So yeah, this is great. Keep him off TV. Distance. What do they say? Distance makes the heart grow fonder. Yes. Just like the whole Chris Jericho thing. A lot of people will be excited when he comes back. Fatu does need some time off. We have too many stars to be just here weekly. Go away. It's fine. What else does he do? What has he been doing?
But that's the point. See, I wouldn't say too many stars. I think we have too many up and coming guys that are, people are like, man, this guy deserves a spot. But there's no spot. You still have all these top guys still here. A lot of these guys should be in NXT. I think when Jacob Fatu, after the Solo story, he probably should have went to NXT. I think because those guys will go over and they're huge and big and whatever. There was no room for him. And I think if they would have did smart and make him still be the monster, even away from Solo could still do his thing, and then he's running rampant with the U.S. title, I think it would have worked. I'm with you. I think if he was the Umaga of his generation, it would work. The Beast, you don't want to touch him. You don't want to, he has those moments with the Braun Breakers, the Bronson Reeds, the Brock Lesnar's. It would have worked. But him as a straight babyface, no. And again, down the line, maybe he's a really good guy. I love listening to talk off the scene, off air. When he talks, seems like a genuine dude, good dude. But the babyface thing did not work out. In regards of who did it, that's the thing, because I'm going to give you an interesting thing that you didn't see. So a lot of people believe, or from what I read, was that some people believe that Randy Orton was the one who took out Jacob Fatu. Interesting. Others say it was Cody Rhodes. I mean, and whoever did it was brutal. I mean, again, blood, teeth, all over. You got to go back and look because it looked bad. It was like, damn, this is a good sell, because whoever did it is going to get their ass kicked when he comes back. But Cody, in his regular clothes, his suit, he loves wearing suits, comes out, does a shouting match with Drew McIntyre and says, let's do this one-on-one, runs to the ring. There's the world title match. Now, I saw these clips. I did not see the match. I went out with my wife. I was following my phone. I was watching the Hurricanes give up the second ranked to Louisville. It sucked. Carson Beck throwing 4 INTs, whatever. But what I did see was very interesting. I had to go back and look because this was a match, and that's how he finished the match. He used the title to beat Drew. Well, actually, to get disqualified. He hit McIntyre with the belt in front of the referee, and Drew McIntyre won the match by disqualification. He got himself disqualified. So I ask you, could we be seeing, with the rumors that he was the one who put out Jacob Fatu, could we be seeing heel Cody coming soon?
Next week, we're going to find out. Arn Anderson's going to come out with that playbook.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
You followed the playbook to a T, man.
DDT. Left. Like, what? What are we doing?
No, If he turns heel, that's fine. I just will go against everything he said in the past where he doesn't ever want to turn heel. But again, he doesn't have creative control, or so we don't think. Maybe he has some input, but they're going to turn him heel. They're going to turn him heel. And that's what we wanted. We've been begging for this for how long, Maria? How long have we, us sickos, wanted heel Cody Rhodes? He's a great heel. He always had a great mind to be a heel. He's very narcissistic, arrogant. He's perfect for this. He already dresses like it. He already talks like it. It's so unnatural for him to even be a babyface. So I'm all in for this. If he does turn heel, it will get me to watch SmackDown. The SmackDown is horrendous. One of the worst shows.
It was. I read it. I'm gonna go back and watch because I heard last night was a great show. I heard it was one of the best SmackDowns in months. That's what I read up. So
good. So this would be something interesting because Cody, like they're doing this thing where he holds the title for 375 days. Now he holds the title. Roman main events WrestleMania year after year after year. Cody change it up. Change it up. It shouldn't be the same person main eventing WrestleMania every single year. Cody Rhodes should not touch the main event this year, but he will. He will.
All right, very quick. Another thing that happened on SmackDown that you didn't know about, Dragunov came back. He had there was an open challenge for the United States title with Sami Zayn. Great match. Dragunov wins the United States title. I know you didn't get to see it because I know your raw reaction when I told you before the show. You were, wait, what? What is your reaction? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
My first thought when you told me was, who cares? Then it was, well, okay, this clears up Sami Zayn for something because Sami Zayn has a story with, if we're going to, I didn't bring this up in the discussion, but it's true. What was Sami Zayn's mission statement? I'm going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. What was Karrion Kross and everybody else's? No, you're not good enough. No, you don't have the edge. No this, no that. This could be a very good counter person to Braun Breaker. If they move him back over, they have history. He's had history with the Vision and Seth Rollins. I'm just saying, it frees him up. Maybe they made this decision because they need to make some moves. Oh, wow. Maybe they do Sami Zayn versus CM Punk in the finals. I don't know. Maybe they have a tournament or some way, and Sami Zayn's the one who earns his way there, and he faces CM Punk. Whatever it may be. I feel like this is a move to clear up Sami Zayn because I don't think he had a long enough reign for this open challenges. I was like, oh, that ended soon. That was my thought. That was fast. Maybe it should have been fast. Maybe we needed this for Dragunov. But maybe they said, hey, Dragunov, we need you to come back now. I know you're scheduled to come back in a couple weeks from now, but come back now. You're going to win the title now. Sami Zayn, you're going to move on to whatever we have you. That's what I thought. It was a rush decision to get Sami Zayn somewhere and back in the main event picture.
That's a great point. And I'm going to be honest, I did not even think of that. That could exactly be the case. Have him drop the belt to Dragunov, and Dragunov is going to have a big time matches. He's going to be awesome. It's going to be, you're going to get the matches you're going to want to see. These are the matches you guys love. You're going to get him. And who knows how long he holds it for, or who he drops it to. But this does free up Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn could be having his moment. It could be the shot. Like, we know he's on SmackDown. Also, wait, he's on Raw. Wait, he's one of the competitors. Wait, did he just win the world title? That could be the case. That is interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, for a show that we had not prepped for, this was a fun one. We always have a lot to talk about. We're going on about an hour and a half. Oh, man. So are you on again tomorrow? Are you cooking since Justin's not there?
It's my day off tomorrow, my first non-streaming day of the week. Here's what I got planned up, guys. No, I'm not watching football in the morning. I plan on going to Busch Gardens tomorrow with my family and just not be in this house, in this chair, in front of this computer or anywhere near my house. So tomorrow I will be a non-football day watching-wise. I'll catch up with it afterwards because, cold brews and hot takes every Monday morning. I do recap fantasy football. I'll do that via stats and box scores and highlights because my wife says we need to go do something family-wise. You guys, wherever you live, Bobby, you should know this. If you live in Florida, you know this. When it drops below 70 degrees, we got the Uggs on, we got the hoodies on, we got pumpkin spice, we got the heater on. It's time to get outside. It's now below 70 degrees here in Florida, so Time to enjoy.
There you go, man. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy yourself. It's been nice here. I'm going to be telling you right now, the weather's been perfect here in Tennessee, near in Nashville. We got some storms tonight, but hopefully we're not in the bad part of it. But other than that, the weather's been really nice lately. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in and participated. And for those who come in after, let us know in the comments. We see them. But shout out to Justin. We appreciate you, brother. Maria, always appreciate you as well. DSG, you're always fun, man. I appreciate you bringing up the Leche part. Anthony, thank you. Everyone who watched, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. We will be back next week with another episode of No Holds Barred Wrestling. I don't know if there's any big event, but we'll find something to talk about. We always got something, and we appreciate everybody who joins us and talks with us. I will be back. I'm not done yet. Usually Mondays is my day off, but with the network, I'll be on again tomorrow morning for the Fins Talk pregame show. Dolphins versus the Browns. Can the Dolphins get their second win? Don't hold your breath, but maybe. And then, of course, the Dolphins Fins Talk postgame show in the evening, 8:30 Eastern time. I'll be on with Fitzstanza, recapping the game, win, lose, or draw. And, of course, if they lose, we'll again be talking about firing Mike McDaniel. Supposedly, Chris Greer was at the South Carolina-Oklahoma game. Maybe he's looking at some Lenora Settlers and John Mateer. Maybe, just maybe. Until then, guys, we appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Good night. Marks. Peace.
Sick.